What's up, guys? It's time for the new tier list in Spongebob Tower Defense with the new Prismania units. If you guys don't know, I spent 29,950 Robux, so type F in the chat. Hopefully it was worth it all to get the new unit so I can rank it for you guys. So if you appreciate me blowing my Robux, make sure to smash the subscribe button. Help us get to 1 million on my main channel. Lamb spot, we were definitely close, man. And let's get into the video. All right, first up, let's rank some of the pets. We actually got a brand new pet and a few pet changes. So what pet changes am I talking about? What I'm talking about is you can finally use max level potions and other potions on pets. So if you guys have an exotic pet, for example, a swashbuckler Gary or honestly any of these ones, you can now use your shiny Wumbo exotic potions on them. And that is going to be a very big benefit for you because it's going to get you a free increase in stats. Now, unfortunately, I believe most prismatic pets are probably the best to go for, but it is what it is. Also, guys, clam is now basically free. It is insanely easy to get the clam now. So if you guys want a clam or a shiny Wumbo clam, it is crazy easy to get. So I will factor that in my rankings. Also, you can now get your pets to level 250 with the max level potions. And I'm going to show you guys how much extra you're going to get. So compared to the old best pet, I'm actually going to get Snailfail all the way up to level 50 now. All right, there we go. So compared to the old best pet, you can now get an additional like 15% on all of the stats. So that is pretty sweet, not gonna lie. So let's go rank the pets based on all of that new information. So let's go hop on into our tier list. And here we go. So first up, the clam. I am going to bump the clam up because there are so many variants in the game now. You can basically get a clam for free. Insanely easy to get. So I'm definitely bumping up the clam. Next up, we have the toaster. I'm going to say the toaster is the worst prismatic in the game because it is the hardest to get. All right. The hardest to get and just not overall worth it, considering you're not going to be able to superstar, considering star up potions do not work on pets. All right. Next up, we have Snailfail. Snailfail is still the best pet. While he is going to be almost impossible to superstar, I'm actually going to check real quick. I'm actually surprised they didn't do this. So devs, if you're watching the video, you should consider putting Snailfail a superstar in the prestige shop. It could give us something else to grind for. So I'm really hoping that they do that, but we're going to have to see. I kind of have no idea if they're going to do something like that, but I really, really hope they do. In the meantime, I'm just going to buy a Sponge Boy. And I want to see how many Sponge Boys are in the game. So I want to see if you guys are actually able to get them. So let me check that real quick, and that'll affect my ranking a little bit. So I just got a fresh Sponge Boy. Only 8,000 exists, so he's actually still pretty rare. Interesting. All right. Oh, wait, why do I have 2 clams? I think I uploaded the wrong pet clam. All right, 1 second. All right, so let's take a look at the new pet that just got added. Lab Squidward. He's not the easiest to get, but he's pretty easy to compare. He's going to be a little bit worse stats than Snailfail, but if we can compare him to like SPU, he's actually going to have higher stats than it looks like an SP. Well, yeah, basically higher stats than SPU. So I'm going to give him a lot of credit for that. I'm going to be honest, Lab Squidward, he's a little bit harder to get, but I'm going to still give him, but he's actually still obtainable. So I'm going to probably give him like the A tier because he's actually like somewhat reasonable to get, like almost a 10% drop rate. So that's not bad at all. He's probably just as easy to get as SPUs now, but he's only a limited time. So he will probably drop in the rankings, but for now, he's definitely a really good get. SPU, guys, I'm going to put in the A tier as well. The main thing is SPU has some crazy stats and one of the easiest pets to superstar. And look at the max stats after superstar. Pretty freaking good, I'm not going to lie. Also, I'm cursed, guys. I always get number 2 cereals. I don't know why. Every time it's a number 2. Really weird. All right, so definitely a very good pet to have. Let me see if there's any other pets we need to rank on here. Yes, I actually did get a superstar T119A. Now I'm gonna put T119A up here as well because a lot of people are able to trade for it, and slightly worse stats than SPU. Keep that in mind, but still very, very good. Not bad at all. So I would definitely put, honestly, I might, honestly, this is probably about right. Don't go for the spatula, go for the other ones. Only go for the spatula to index it. All right, let's rank some of the units now. We're gonna do based on a few factors. So let's head over here to the index, and this is gonna help us kind of rank some of them a little bit. So we're gonna base this off of like each different attack type. If you guys don't know, the game is getting entirely rebalanced at some point in the future. They said the 3rd week of April. So that will basically make all prismatics roughly equal. So keep that in mind as well. But let's start off with the first ever prismatic in the game. Square pants. Look at that, guy. 7.5 million damage. Now look at this guy. 75 million. That is a 10x increase. And I'm going to be honest, it probably is now easier to get Superstar Spongebob than it is Superstar SquarePants. If we take a look at the exist counts, only 138 Blackjack Superstars exist. However, if we take a look at Superstar Spongebob, yeah, absolutely crazy. I think I still need to use a max level potion on my Spongebob though. I forgot about that. Hopefully those still work on Spongeboys. I might have to test that one out. If anybody knows that, comment down below, because I gotta actually do that. For that reason, guys, I'm gonna actually put SquarePants in the D tier. 10x less damage. Honestly, as of right now, the unit's not even worth it to use compared to Spongebob, which everybody has, comparatively speaking, like the easiest superstar to get in the game, and it's 10 times the damage and a better AoE. Like, come on, like night and day. All right, so next up we have the next oldest one, and that is Snow Sponge. Now I'm gonna be honest, Snow Sponge isn't the end of the world. The reason I like Snow Sponge is because of the splash damage AoE, but again, look at this, guys, same AoE, one is doing 10x more damage. So I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I don't even know if I can recommend bringing in. He's not even worth it. He's not even gonna make a dent. Like, I gotta put him in the D tier, man. He's not even gonna make a dent. You know, I can't give him any credit. All right, next up we have, who was the next one? Sticky Fins. Honestly, 6 million damage. I'm gonna actually bump Sticky Fins over these guys, mainly because he's actually still obtainable, and he's also really good for a net worth as well. So I'm gonna give him some credit for that. Also, we have Squidbob Tentacle Pants, guys. Very good unit, and very similar unit to Snowbob as well. I'm gonna be honest though, Squidbob is getting to be very easy to get, so I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit. I think he's gonna actually be easier to get than Snow Sponge, so I'm gonna give him some credit there. And same thing with Ringmaster. They're pretty good units, but they're really hard to get, and comparatively speaking, their damage just isn't really worth it. All right, next up we have Kenny the Cat. 12 million. That is double basically SquarePants damage, which is very good. However, Kenny the Cat is insanely hard to get, but I'm gonna put him into the B tier because he's doing like double the damage. He's actually somewhat worth it to use, so I am going to give him a little bit of credit for that. All right, next up we have Blackjack. Look at the damage, guys, and single target. I'm sorry, but he is somewhat easy to trade for, low trading value, so I will put him in the C tier just for that reason alone, but I don't really know if I can really recommend you actually use him on a series team. All right, next up we have Sudbob. Sudbob's not, oh, I still need to index the shiny Wumbo of Janet and Marty. Oh my gosh. All right, anyway, Sudbob is honestly not that bad of a unit. Is it 120 million? Yeah, one of the highest base damage, so Tower of Karate unit, very good. So because it's so good at Tower of Karate, I am gonna have to put it into the A tier. I don't quite think it's as good as Spongebob because the AoE, his AoE sucks comparatively speaking, and he's very hard to superstar. So I will give him some credit though. All right, next up we have Hans, also very good unit, guys. 30 million and single target, but again, very hard to superstar. So I'm gonna give Hans, I'm gonna say Hans definitely gonna give A tier. Very good unit. All right, Janet and Marty is literally the same as Spongebob. The only difference is you can actually superstar Spongebob. There is a few superstar Janet and Martys around, but those were before the patch. So I'm gonna say, since they're the same damage, they're going next to each other, but Spongebob is way easier to obtain and way easier to superstar. All right, the new unit, the Aliens, guys, is a line AoE unit. So it is actually a lot weaker than Sudbob. However, it's easier to get. But half the damage of Sudbob is kind of crazy. And for that reason alone, we can't put him in anywhere near the tier. So I'm going to actually have to put him into the B tier, which is kind of crazy. Ooh, actually, he might be right about Hans. Honestly, I might have to do like this. I think this is probably fair. Yeah, I'm going to have to put him a little bit higher than Hans, though. I believe they might be doing similar damages. But yeah, I think this is probably a fairer ranking. So yeah, it's kind of tough right now. All right, Gary Booty. Now the thing about Gary Booty is he has a very fast SPA, but only 3.5 million damage. So it's not actually, he's better than you think. I'm going to put him up here. He's actually surprisingly good, but definitely not as good as Hans. Next up we have Ringmaster Crabs, and the couple exotics. As far as how good they are, they're actually surprisingly decent. 2 million damage and full AoE is really freaking good. Which actually, in my opinion, probably puts him, Ringmaster Crabs, probably up here. like honestly, and he's easier to superstar because you can actually use potions on him. So I'm gonna actually bump him up, guys. He's really good. I would recommend trying him out. Now, as far as the other exotic goes, look at that, guys. 2 million for 0.1. And then we have the other superstar you guys can get. Yeah, not even a dent, bro. Not even a dent. So he's not even on the rank. Like, I don't even know why he's on this list. He's not even close. All right, next up we have the raffle unit, who's basically impossible to get. Honestly, I've seen the raffle unit stats. Our first ever subscriber, Winter Trooper, got one, so shout out to him. But I'm gonna be honest, he's technically an A tier unit, you know. Sanitation robot though, I'm giving S tier. Easiest, very, very easy to get. I'm gonna show you guys how many exist actually right now. Oh, it doesn't tell you how many exist on this one for some reason, but very good and comes as a superstar. So very, very good in my opinion. I'm gonna be honest, up there with Sponge Boy, and I think for my testing, unless they fix the max potion buff, he is better than Sponge Boy. Dumpster Patrick, I actually managed to pull a frick ton of these. So I actually do have a lot, 280 million. Dumpster Patrick is another one of those single target units. However, he's basically pretty hard. He's easier to get now that they have like the AFK things that work. But we can compare him to like Kenny the Cat, way more damage than Kenny the Cat. So honestly, 50 million is pretty freaking good. I'm gonna be honest though, based on my calculations, probably high B tier. I think he's gonna be better than Tiki Aliens for sure. He's gonna be very hard to get those shiny Wumbo. But there you go, guys. There's my updated tier list. Comment down below what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next one. And if you guys have any suggestions to change the rankings, comment down below, and see you later. Peace.